Hello students, today we are going to discuss the topic plastid from the chapter 1 cell fundamental unit of life of class 9th biology. So plastids are another cell organelle found in the eukaryotic cells, and in eukaryotic cells the plastids are the cell organelles which are absent in animal cells. They are only found in the plant cells and some photosynthetic protists, and these cell organelles are the again membrane bound cell organelles. These are the membrane bound cell organelles, and they have double layer of membrane just like mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi body. They are also having double layer in their structure, double layer membrane in their structure, like you can see here. This is the outer membrane and this is the inner membrane. Like mitochondria, they also have their own genetic material. This is the DNA, and they also having ribosomes for the protein synthesis. So you can say plastids can also, like mitochondria, plastids can also produce their own protein because they have their own genetic material and the ribosomes. Now in plant cells, plastids are of three types. They are of three types. First one is chromoplast, and they are the colored plastids. Means they contain colorful pigments and give color to flowers and fruits. Chromo means color, and that's why the chromoplast are colored plastids, and they contain colorful pigments. As you know that the plants have flowers and fruits, they are found in different colors, variety of colors. So these colors are there because of the presence of chromoplast in it. So this is the first type of plastid, that is chromoplast, which are the colored plastid, means they have colorful pigments. Okay, in the term chromoplast, the chromo means what? Colored. Okay. The second type of plastid is leucoplast, and these are the colorless plastid, means they do not have any pigment, so that's why they are the colorless. And so where are they involved? They are involved in the storage of various kinds of food like starch, oils, proteins, etc. Leucoplasts do not have any pigment, so what do? They contain the extra food items, means they store the various kind of food items in the cell like starch, oil and proteins. So they perform the storage house of the cell, means they store the extra food material which is found in the cell, and that's why they are colorless. Okay, next the third one is chloroplast, and these plastids are very important for the green plants. The green plants look green because of the presence of the chloroplast, because these chloroplast contain the green pigment, that is chlorophyll. Okay, as you know, the green plants look green because of the presence of the green pigment, that is chlorophyll, and this chlorophyll is ultimately found in the chloroplast. Okay, so you can say that the plastids are of three types: chromoplast, leucoplast and chloroplast. Chromoplasts are the colorful plastids. They contain the colored pigment other than green. Okay, other than green they have different kind of colorful pigments. And leucoplasts, they do not have any pigment, so they are colorless. They store the food material. The chloroplasts are the green plastids, means they have, why are they green plastids? Because they have a green pigment that is called chlorophyll. As you know, the chlorophyll is the green pigment help in the photosynthesis. So that's why, because of the presence of green pigment, that is chlorophyll, in that plastid, this plastid is known as chloroplast. And because of the presence of the chlorophyll, the photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplast. And as you know, at the result of the photosynthesis, the food is produced for the plants, and that's why chloroplasts are called as kitchen of the cell, because in the chloroplast the photosynthesis occur, and at the result of photosynthesis the food is produced. That's why the chloroplasts are known as the kitchen of the cell. Now we will see what is the structure of the chloroplast. Okay, we'll discuss about the structure of the chloroplast. So here you can see the diagram of chloroplast. You can see that there is a double membrane outer boundary of the plastid of this chloroplast, and the outer membrane and the inner membrane. The outer one is known as outer membrane and the inner one is known as inner membrane. And the cavity inside the membrane, that cavity is filled with a matrix, and that matrix is known as stroma. Okay, inside the membrane there is a hollow cavity, and that cavity is filled with a fluid, filled with a matrix, and that matrix or fluid is called as stroma. In that stroma you can see there is a circular DNA. As you know, the plastid has their own genetic material, and instead of DNA you can also see the presence of ribosome, means plastids also have ribosome. Other than this, you can see a membranous system found inside the cavity of the chloroplast, and that system is known as granum. You can see there are coin-like structures arranged in a stack, one above the other, and this stack is known as granum. One stack is known as granum, and more than one is known as grana. Okay, the one coin-like structure in the granum is known as thylakoid, and this is the membranous structure made up of membrane. The same membrane found in the cell membrane is found in the thylakoid also. Okay, so these are the membranous coin-like structure, and that coin-like structure found in the stroma is known as thylakoid. But these coins are arranged one above the other in a stack-like structure, and that stack of thylakoid is known as granum. One stack is known as granum, and more than one will be known as grana. And these grana are connected with the membranous structure, and that structure is known as lamellae. Okay, so there is a system of membrane found inside the cavity of the plastid, actually in the cavity of chloroplast, because here we are talking about the chloroplast. So the cavity of the chloroplast having a membranous system, that system is known as grana, and each granum is made up of membranous coin-like structure, and that one coin is known as thylakoid. In each thylakoid the green pigment is found. You can say the thylakoid contains pigments, and that green pigments which is chlorophyll. So where is chlorophyll actually found? Inside the thylakoid of the chloroplast. The location of chlorophyll in the chloroplast is inside the membranous coin-like structure, which is thylakoid. Okay, now this is the structure of the chloroplast. You can say that there is a double membrane layer found in the chloroplast. The outer one is known as outer membrane, the inner one is known as inner membrane. Inside the membrane there is a cavity filled with a fluid, and that fluid is known as a stroma. Inside the stroma you will find what? DNA, the genetic material of the chloroplast, and their protein factory, that is ribosome. And instead of DNA and ribosome you will find there is a membranous system, and that membranous system having granum, and granum is the stack of the thylakoid. Okay, there are lots of grana found in the each chloroplast, and that grana are connected with the membranous structure. That membranous structure is known as lamella. So as you know, the chlorophyll is found in the thylakoid, and this chlorophyll is responsible to trap the sunlight, solar energy of the sun, and that energy is afterwards used to convert into the chemical energy for the formation of food. So you can assume now, or you can understand that why this chloroplast is known as kitchen of the cell, because where there is chlorophyll, the solar energy will be trapped, and that energy will be utilized for the formation of food, that is glucose. So that's why the chloroplast is known as the kitchen of the cell, because the photosynthesis occurs inside the chloroplast. As you know, the photosynthesis complete in two steps. One is light reaction, and another one is dark reaction. Photosynthesis complete in two steps. One is light reaction, and second one is dark reaction. This light reaction occurs inside the thylakoid because the chlorophyll is present here, and the light get trapped by the chlorophyll. Okay, and this dark reaction occur in the stroma. Okay, so you have to remember the photosynthesis complete in two steps. First step is known as light reaction, and the second step is known as dark reaction. The light reaction takes place inside the thylakoid, and the dark reaction takes place in the stroma. Now you can summarize the structure of chloroplast like this. Each chloroplast is bounded by two membranes, okay, the outer membrane and the inner membrane, and the cavity bounded by the membrane is filled with matrix called as a stroma. In a stroma there is a membranous system known as grana. Each granum has coin-like membranous sac called as thylakoid, and these thylakoid contains what? Chlorophyll pigment, and grana are the main functional unit of chloroplast. Means this is the place where actually the first step of photosynthesis take place. So this is all about the structure of the chloroplast. Now we will discuss about the functions of plastids. As you know, there are three kinds of plastids. So the first one, the chromoplast. The function of chromoplast is to provide color to the flowers and fruits. As you have seen, the flowers and fruits of the plants are having colorful parts, and these colorful parts are because of the presence of chromoplast. Okay, as you know, the flowers are colorful, and they are colorful because they have to attract the insects for the pollination. So that color of the flowers are because of the chromoplast. Okay, the second type of plastid, that is leucoplast. What do? They are not having any colored pigment, colorful pigment, so they help in the storage of food. They store the extra food material found in the cell, just like protein, fat, lipid, starch, etc. Now the third one, the chloroplast. What do they do in the cell? In the plant cell, the chloroplasts are the site of photosynthesis, and they help in the production of food, that is glucose, and hence they are called as a kitchen of the cell. You will be asked which cell organelle is known as the kitchen of the cell. So you will have to say the chloroplasts in the plant cells are known as the kitchen of the cell, because this is the main site of photosynthesis, and at the result of photosynthesis what happens? The glucose is formed, the food is formed for the cell. So this is all about the plastid, and you have to remember that plastids are always absent in the animal cells. Okay, animal cells do not have plastid, any kind of plastid. They do not have any kind of plastid. All kind of plastids are absent in the animal cells. They are found only in plant cells. Now we will discuss about the next cell organelle, and that is vacuoles. Okay, so what are vacuoles? Vacuoles are the fluid filled membrane bound spaces, means they are vesicles, and they are also membrane bound, but the membrane is single layer, and that single layer membrane is called as tonoplast. Okay, basically vacuoles are the storage sacs for the liquid or solid contents. Okay, they are the inside the cell there are simple single membranous fluid filled sacs are found, and that sacs are known as vacuoles. Now in animal cells a number of small size and temporary vacuoles are found which store water, proteins and glycogen, etc. In animal cells the number of vacuoles are more, but their size is small. Okay, and they can be found temporarily and can be found anywhere in the cytoplasm, and they store water, protein and glycogen. In some single celled organisms such as amoeba, the vacuoles are modified as food vacuole, means they play an important role in the digestion of the food. But in plant cells there is some difference in case of vacuoles. In plant cells the small vacuoles fuse to form a single large central vacuole, and that central vacuole of some plants may occupy the 50 to 90% of the cell volume. In plant cell what happens? In plant cells, in the mature plant cells what happens there? The smaller vacuoles they merge together and become a single centrally located vacuole. What happens in case of mature plant cell? In mature plant cell, the smaller vacuoles merge together, they fuse together, and they make a bigger single vacuole, and that bigger single vacuole occupy the central location of the cell, the central position of the cell, means that single bigger vacuole come in the center of the cell and it push the nucleus towards the side. Okay, now it becomes so big that it can occupy 50 to 90% of the cell volume. Okay, now this single centrally located vacuole of the mature plant cell has fluid. It is filled with a fluid, and that fluid is known as cell sap. Now we will discuss about the functions, the main functions of the vacuoles. In plant cells, vacuole help to maintain the turgidity of the cell, means they help the plant cells to remain turgid. Okay, in the plant cells they internally provide turgidity, they maintain the turgidity of the cell, and that's why they are very important. In plant cells, vacuole play an important role in growth by helping in elongation of the cells. During the growth of the plant cell, they help in the elongation. Means when the plant cells grow in size, the vacuole also grow and push the wall of the plant cell in case in the time at the time of growth, at the time of elongation. Now in animal cells they maintain the water balance. In animal cells they can store the extra water and thus they help in the maintenance of the water balance. Now they act as a storage room for cell and store water, minerals and reserve food. Sometimes they act as a storage room for the cell. So the extra material like water, minerals and reserve food get into the vacuoles and they store them. So vacuoles help in the storage of extra material of the cell. Now in protozoans like amoeba and paramecium, vacuoles help in the digestion and excretion. In case of unicellular organisms like amoeba and paramecium, the vacuoles become food vacuoles and help in the digestion of the food, and they also help in the excretion of the waste material from the body. So this is all about the functions of vacuoles, and this is all about this video. Thank you.